let's go into the weeds of this segment. We agreed it's the forefront against the, or how about the rebellion against
the
Tesla Model Y?
rebellion.
The rebellion against Tesla Model Y.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny because this is the old world. This is the old guard going against the rebellion, and we're calling it the rebellion. But I still like that. Of all of those cars, you've got the IONIQ 5,
Mm-hmm.
the EV6, the Mach-e, the ID4, the Aria. Did we say the Kia? EV6?
Yeah, you did. You covered both of the Kia brother.
The Audi. It's called the Audi.
Okay.
And ultimately the Porsche that will come off the same platform. What do you think is going to be the winner?
Toyota.
Nathan, this is not a cigar lounge.
It's better
How is it better?
because we're in my hometown. Well, not hometown, but this is where I live.
We're in your home state.
My home, now it is, and Colorado, and we are in the middle of a beautiful field with horse manure and, most importantly, a Russian vehicle and a Japanese-American vehicle.
And what did we do with both of these vehicles?
We recently did a video with them.
So we compared these two vehicles.
To a lesser degree, yes.
It was more capitalism against communism.
It
So that
was.
will be a separate episode that they can see on TFL, what, truck? Car?
Truck!
Truck! The director behind the camera says truck. Okay, so we are not here for this. We wanted to make sure we set the stage so people understand why there is a lime green Toyota behind me and a Russian white knight UAZ 4, what is it?
UAZ 452.
UAZ 452, otherwise known as the Blanca.
Yeah.
We are here to discuss electric vehicles. And the reason why we're here to discuss electric vehicles is because this week I went and shot the new Toyota bZ4x, and then I'm going to drive the new IONIQ 5 in 2 weeks. And then there was the release of the official pricing release of the Aria at the LA Auto Show that was just this week. So set the stage for us what this means.
Go back a few years. One of the first all-wheel drive popular electric vehicles in this segment was the Tesla Model Y. Sold like hotcakes, still does. One of their best-selling vehicles.
We're talking about a crossover.
It's a crossover. This is a vehicle that fits small families, individuals like you, awesome people like me.
No, this is not a vehicle for me.
The point is that it's a huge group of people that buy. So think about how popular the current mid-size crossover craze is right now. So just under pickup trucks in the United States, crossovers. Now take it up a notch. Electric. Electric crossovers will be the defining factor of that segment of all electric vehicles in the future.
Why do you think this will be the next frontier? Because adoption of EV really hasn't been widespread. It's been the early adopters, but it's been slow going past the early adopters.
Currently around between 2 and 3% right now of vehicles sold in the United States are electric
I can
vehicles.
give you the exact numbers. It was 10 years ago, it was 300,000 units. Now we're at 1.2 million.
Okay.
That's not a lot.
Yet. The fact is that almost every automaker is currently building an electric vehicle or has an electric vehicle or will have electric vehicles in their fleets. They have to adopt to standards that are coming very soon.
Yes.
And as such, they're moving ahead, some aggressively, some who are taking it kind of slowly. Toyota's a really good example, who's sort of, pacing themselves, and then everybody in between. The reality is that within the next 10 years, that number is going to explode. Now, you know this and I know this. We do know that this is going to grow.
Yeah.
But which EV is going to be the one that does it? And I am saying that the mid-size crossover.
That's the big segment.
Small to mid-size, yes. And that's going to be huge because it's already huge.
So let's first agree as to what we're calling this segment, because I think this is a new segment what we're looking at. The Tesla Model Y was a segment of one, a mid-sized crossover, on offer as all-wheel drive.
Right.
Now you've got all these OEMs lining up. I've done tech reviews on the IONIQ 5, the Nissan Aria, the bZ4x, terrible name. Which will also be the Subaru Solterra.
Right.
And then Cadillac's going to have one similar size, the Lyriq. So Cadillac's going to be a luxury version, but let's put that aside for a minute. And then Mercedes they said no to the EQC for the US, then it's back in the
to
US.
it, yeah.
And Audi's got that new, what is it?
The Q...
The 4 version crossover, the Q4, but an electric.
Right.
So let's collectively call this segment the new frontier against the Model Y. Can we agree on that?
We can agree on that because they set the bar. And now everybody's
following it. Oh, and Kia EV6.
Yes.
Okay.
Which, by the way, I still think is a dynamite design.
I think the IONIQ 5 is better.
Okay.
But let's
we're going to agree to disagree right now.
He has bad taste.
He does too.
He drives.
Don't. Just. God.
He drives a Mitsubishi. That's
MotoMan.
all I'm saying. We will discuss in another episode what happened to this Mitsubishi. Anyway, I think in the short term, that segment's going to be flat. And here's why. I think the people who buy EVs, they're, what is the mainstream media calling it? Sophisticated people. And the sophisticated people, which you and I are not.
Even though I own one.
Well, you own a Leaf, and your lovely daughter drives it. She's crazy smart, by the way. And you're going to be working for her one day.
Yeah, I know.
So the sophisticated set, in the short term, this is just the short term, are going to continue to buy the Y, but the options they're going to migrate to, the Porsche, the Cross Turismo, and the new EQS. So I recently drove the EQS, and I learned what makes the EQS different. Not that it's just a Mercedes with an electric propulsion system. It's the first electric vehicle that is designed to be a luxury car. It's closer in driving dynamics to older American cars than it is a Mercedes S-Class. It's not a mess on the road, but it's not a Tesla, and it's not a Taycan, and it's not trying to be either one of those. And I firmly believe in the short term, the sophisticated folks that the mainstream media always refer to, they are going to migrate into the EQS and the EQE and the Taycan. And then as the infrastructure is built out, because there's more Taycans, more EQSs, more Teslas on the road, and Tesla opens up their supercharger network, I think you'll start to see more backfill of this new competitive set we're calling the forefront against the Tesla Model Y, which includes the Mach-e and the Volkswagen ID4. And two interesting data points. Number one, Volkswagen can't build enough of those ID4s. And they have yet to move production to Chattanooga, what the Germans call Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, which we're expecting because that'll have the less expensive version.
Yeah, they already said they're doing it.
Yeah.
And then the real data we do have, I'm not a Ford guy.
Yeah.
But Ford is the only one with a Mach-e coming even close in monthly sales records or monthly sales numbers to the Y. The Y still outsells it, but the Ford is too close for comfort.
And that is where I see we're two different dynamics we're covering here. You're on the higher end of it. I'm on the lower end of it.
I'm always on the higher end.
Of course you are. But
I've driven. Drives a Mitsubishi.
Crying out loud. So I've driven all of the lesser priced ones, and I hope to drive the Aria soon, which will be in that realm as well. And
did you drive the all-wheel drive ID4? I have yet to drive that one.
No, I haven't. I drove the just the rear drive one.
I drive that one literally when I hand this in and get back to LA. That's the car I get.
Yeah, but I've had a lot of friends, including Emmy, who have driven the all-wheel drive one, and it's
a moment of silence for Emmy's dad,
yes,
who was a racer. So if you guys know Emmy Hall, she is magnificent.
Yep.
I mean, she's magnificent, but she also races, and that's why we like her. Oh, that's why we love her. So a moment of silence for her father, Julie Dunbar, her father.
She's my sister from another mister. So, with all of that, look at all of the brands that are coming in now to play and who's about to. Honda has a deal with General Motors.
Yeah.
They're going to be building something that's going to compete right in that same area. General Motors right now actually has an interesting thing because even though it's not on the road right now because of battery issues, they do have their inexpensive Bolt and Bolt EUV, which are really at the low end of the crossover electric world in that realm. And soon they're going to be filling it up with an awful lot of vehicles that they have ready to launch very soon.
Well, we said this the last time we got together in Arizona. I think GM's the one to watch.
I agree.
Right now, they don't have a lot on the field, but very soon, they're going to be the ones that are going to leapfrog everybody else because they're putting a lot of money into battery technology and platforms, and more importantly, got the right people working on it. They got Al Oppenheiser,
Yeah.
who was the chief engineer for all the rear-wheel drive vehicles, so he knows driving dynamics.
Not to mention the nuclear bomb, or atomic bomb, I should say. Sorry.
He's the
Oppenheimer, sorry, the other one.
Oppenheiser.
So,
Oppenheimer. No,
Oppenheimer. Oh,
Oppenheiser.
yeah, okay.
I'm screwing up his name. I should. And then you got Taj working on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And another aside here, which you didn't drive it, Roman did. Another vehicle the sophisticated set's going to go to is the Hummer EV.
Which, I mean, 5 years ago, would you have said something like that? The Hummer was the most vilified vehicle in the United States.
Now it's the savior.
And now it's the savior. It's back, and
Yeah.
it's actually kind of a stroke of brilliance that they actually went and did this. It's an incredible thing to do. And I'm looking forward to one day getting behind the wheel of that as well. And it's a remarkable vehicle. It's not efficient, but it's all electric.
Yeah.
And it will probably go off-road like gangbusters from everything I've seen.
So let's go into the weeds of this segment. We agreed it's the forefront against the, or how about the rebellion against
The
Tesla Model Y?
rebellion-
The rebellion against Tesla Model Y.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny because this is the old world. This is the old guard going against the rebellion, and we're calling it the rebellion. But I still like that. Of all of those cars, you've got the IONIQ 5,
Mm-hmm.
the EV6, the Mach-e, the ID4, the Aria. Did we say the Kia? EV6?
Yeah, you did.
I said that one.
Covered both of the Kia brother.
The
and-
Audi, let's call it the Audi.
Okay.
And ultimately the Porsche that will come off the same platform. What do you think is going to be the winner?
Toyota. Toyota, because the brand recognition with Toyota, they're going to build a vehicle that looks a lot like their RAV4, and also that, what was it, the Corolla Cross that you and I drove.
Yeah.
It will be the most recognizable. It'll be the one that's most popular for people who are thinking, I want a reliable electric vehicle, and I rely on this company, Toyota, who their sales numbers are no joke. They're going to do well.
Do you think it's too soon to say reliability is not much of an issue? Like, let's be honest. I
Yeah.
love driving RS6s. I love driving AMGs. But there's no way on God's green earth I don't want to pass the warranty.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. The only German car I don't pass the warranty is a 911. And that's because they're engineered to a standard, not a price. And they know Porsche is synonymous with 911s and they need to be on the road in 10 years.
And I agree.
So are we looking at reliability still going to be an issue? Like, now that you take the gas engine out of it, because, again, let's be honest, anybody I know who's had a Volkswagen or an Audi with that 2-liter EA 888, they blow up.
Yeah.
They have to replace the engine. You don't have that problem anymore. Do you think we could take the reliability question out of it?
Let me answer that with a simple statement. I've owned a Nissan Leaf, a used one, for 2 years. Me being my daughter's driven it, and she's managed to slam into every curb in the state of Colorado and bottomed out on every single speed bump in the state of Colorado. She's beat that car mercilessly. The only issue it's had is the air conditioning system doesn't work right, and I decided just to leave it alone. Once again, state of Colorado. There are only a handful of moving parts. The only fluids she needs to really worry about is washer fluid. Maintenance, very cheap. Overall maintenance of that vehicle to maintain it and keep it running has been pretty much nothing other than rotating the tires.
But that's not a good comparison. Like, let's go back to the Audi.
All right.
Whatever the Q4 electric is, it's going to have an option for chassis control systems. That's $2,500 a corner minimum.
Yeah,
Are we still going to have a problem with that with an electric car?
of course you are, because it's German.
Okay, so then let's go back to the question. Which do you think is going to be the winner? You say the Toyota. is the
I
reliability.
maintain it.
I actually shot the Toyota. I went down and shot it. And I got to tell you, there's good and bad news.
Okay.
The good news is, like all EVs, it takes advantage of the benefits of packaging. It has the length, it's the exact same, almost the same length as a RAV4, but the wheelbase is the same as a Highlander. So you got a lot of room in the back. It's all in the back.
Yeah.
The hip point's too low, though. I will say it's an uncomfortable rear seat. I say the styling is meh. Their big problem, I think their big faux pas was they're making the same vehicle with no design changes, like they do with the GR86 and the Solterra. And they missed an opportunity to make the Solterra a station wagon and make the Toyota a crossover, and I think they would have had completely two different segments covered, and the sophisticated folks would have bought the Subaru in just spades, and you wouldn't compete with anything else. Well, now they compete against each other. The execution of all of the fit and finish, even the color and trim and the textures are really good inside the Toyota. The design is good inside the Toyota. I think, I disagree with you.
Okay.
I don't think the Toyota's the winner.
All right.
I think the winner is the IONIQ 5.
I won't push that away because both the IONIQ, both the Kia and the Hyundai, the packaging is remarkable.
Yeah.
What they did with the technology is fantastic. There's still brand recognition, and I think that that's going to push Toyota up to the top, even though they're only going to have really one vehicle to show for it.
Even in the EV world, the
Yes.
sophisticated folks, you think brand is still a thing with them.
I really do.
Even though they've proven that they're willing to accept new brands without issue. Tesla was a new brand, and those cars were held together with chewing gum and spit, and they still bought them like there was like it was the last chance of gas in a desert.
Do you remember the members only jacket?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and forgive us for ever even remembering that. Everybody wanted one. It's just a jacket.
Yeah.
It was crap as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted them because it was new and shiny. Once it was no longer new and shiny,
Yeah.
they started printing off fake ones, getting rid of the label, and then got rid of them altogether. You are only going to be able to maintain something that's new and exciting for a certain amount of time.
6 months.
Let's say that Tesla's managed to stretch that out, because there are some people at Tesla who are pretty bright about this.
Yeah.
And they've managed to bring in enough to where they have a fairly good size brand, and now they have brand recognition on
Yeah.
top of that.
Yeah.
But you cannot dismiss the world power of Toyota, the acknowledgement that they stand for quality, whether we like it or not, and that
I love it.
consumers flock to their vehicles whenever they build something new, with only a few exceptions.
So we have learned something today. Usually, if you guys know us, and we've been friends for 10 years, we usually agree on pretty much everything, and this is one area we're not agreeing. I don't think the brand's an issue here. I think the new frontier is packaging and clever innovation inside the vehicle, and that's where the IONIQ is head and shoulders above everybody else. And I'm saying this to you without even driving the vehicle. You know, they have a unique opportunity. Actually, I got to sit with Albert Bierman.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys are going to see 2 episodes from him, one on the N and one on the IONIQ 5. And we talked about his development challenge there. I think they have an opportunity to make actually a rear-wheel drive luxury vehicle with that car. But I don't know yet, because I haven't driven it, and I'm driving it the second week of December. So I think you and I are going to have to come back to
We
this.
have to, yeah, this is going to have to be tabled until then, because I haven't driven the Toyota. But I see your point. I think it's a logical point. But I keep coming back to the idea that people really want to find something that they can identify with,
Yeah.
that they're comfortable with,
Yeah.
and they are able to go right to Toyota and grab.
Okay, so before we turn this around to the audience, what are we smoking?
This is an absolutely delicious Romeo and Julieta.
Wonderful stick.
It's a wonderful stick. It's got the Connecticut wrapper. It's a reserve. It's just perfection, and it goes really good with coffee. He doesn't drink coffee.
Especially in cold weather. It's cold. I know for you, he's wearing short sleeve shirt. I've got like 3
I'm a
layers
polar
on
bear.
right
What are you going to do? Come on.
So these are Romeo Julieta 1875 reserves. I always have a box of these in my hangar. So we and I, Nathan and I, are going to be smoking a couple of these all weekend. But this is the point of the episode where we turn it around to the audience. I think it's a MotoMan v Nathan Camp. Which do you guys agree with? Do you agree with it's Toyota and then everybody else? And forget about Tesla. This is about against Tesla. This is the rebellion. Or am I correct with packaging and clever details on the inside, and design for that matter? Or, you know what? We'll set up a third camp. Are we both wrong? Are we missing something here? So let us know in the comments below, or via our social media, MotoManTV all one word, MotoManTV all one word, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And of course, would very much like you to follow my friend here on Twitter, Nathan Adlen. And we've got a lot of birds coming. And then, yes, would love your help with the algorithm. What does that mean? Subscribe, notifications, but even more important than that, hit like, and what else?
Send cigars care of MotoMan
Yeah,
to
send us
Nathan.
cigars. Yeah. After you share the episodes, send Nathan and I cigar care packages until we see you in the next members only episode or an episode from TFL Car, TFL Truck, TFL Off Road, TFL Now. I can't keep
There's
track at
TFL
this
Talk.
point.
Yeah, this was about
And of
too many.
course, MotoManTV episodes. Bis später.